Cyberpunk 2077 is finally here. I played about an hour and a half of it yesterday just to try it out, and I liked it quite a bit. I didn't really have any problems. It definitely, you can tell it's working your PC a little bit though, but for the most part, I didn't really have any problems playing it on Steam. It did set a new record on Steam, by the way. Cyberpunk 2077 sets a new Steam single-player record. Shouldn't really surprise anybody. People have really been waiting for this game to come out. And it's hard to blame anybody because the hype for this game has been off neck charts. There's been a lot of controversy with games journalists, which we're going to get back into, but I wanted to show you guys some stuff that's going on first. Check out the PlayStation 4 Pro version of this game. So I noticed PS4 Pro is trending, and it seems like people are having some problems. Here's some screenshots shared by somebody on Twitter here. Cyberpunk game, are the textures supposed to look like this on PS4 Pro? Is this what 7 years in development looks like? It seems like I got the PS2 version. WTF is this? I play on a 65-inch Sony 4K HDR TV. And you can see right here, this looks terrible. Look at these screenshots. And this is causing people, this isn't the only person sharing these, by the way. There's a ton of people sharing screenshots of their PlayStation Pro version. I don't know what the Xbox version looks like. I just know that it seems like PS4 Pro versions of the game aren't really looking very good. A lot of people are sharing PlayStation 2 and 1 pictures and saying that it's Cyberpunk, which is pretty humorous. Look at this one. Oh my God, that's terrible. Also, ResetEra is melting down about the game still. One of my favorite accounts on Twitter, ResetEra Takes, definitely worth a follow. Always goes and grabs these screenshots that I love. Cyberpunk 2077 now has second highest Steam concurrent player record for a paid game, plus 1 million concurrent players. And then they locked the thread.
What a story, Mark.
That really shouldn't surprise anybody. The ResetEra has been melting down probably as much as I think games journalists have been. Games journalists, that's where the real meltdown has been. And we're going to go back to them because now they're trying to talk down to gamers who don't understand how a review process works, which I got a real kick out of. I thought I would share it with you guys. What they are still complaining about people that play the game, the people who call Cyberpunk 2077 perfect, all the people that Cyberpunk warns us about. That's just the headline. I'm not going to go through this article because it sucks. I just wanted to show you that they're once again trashing players, trashing gamers. These are supposed to be the voice of the gamer, the voice of the community, but they think you're trash. Okay? They think you're trash. One thing that it seems like this is one of the few times where the eye has really moved on the games journalists, and people are really taking notice to how nasty they can be, to how they look down, snub their nose at gamers, how they want to ban criticism. Look what they were doing to TheQuartering. I covered that yesterday. They're trying to get him banned off of the platform. All of them, IGN, GameSpot, so many of them have been going after him. It's kind of disgusting. It's targeted harassment. They're still going on about him. But it was pretty crazy. It, of course, pushed him over 1 million subs, though. So I guess there's that, too. I don't think they'll be successful because nobody takes games journalists very seriously. But if he was a political channel and it was like Forbes or somebody else like that coming after him, we might be having a different conversation right now. But everyone thinks games journalists are a joke. So for now, I don't think anything's going to happen. But they are trying to contact that gaming guy at YouTube. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I hope nothing happens. I don't think anything will, but we'll see. So here's the big one. This is the one I wanted to really talk about. Cyberpunk 2077 review controversy and why gamers still don't understand how reviews work. So here's an article. This is a really good example of games journalists snubbing their nose and looking down at you like you don't understand how a game review works. So this is just a big patronizing article to just laugh at the gamer, in my opinion. And they basically come in here and tell you, hey, listen, we're allowed to get political in our game reviews. You don't like it? Go get a new hobby. They literally say that in here. And it's really insulting. This is one of the reasons why games media is dying. And they're doing it to themselves. They've been doing it to themselves for years. But lately it's really been pushing through. It's almost like all they have left is rage bait. What are they going to do when that stops working? It's not going to work forever. And eventually, people are just going to stop going to these websites altogether. They already kind of are. This is one of the reasons why YouTubers are blowing up. Like gaming YouTubers are really, really blowing up. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that games media just isn't needed anymore. You want to know what's going on with your game you like? Go follow the director on Twitter. He's probably there. Go follow the game studio. You can find all the updates you need there. You don't need to go to IGN to get the update, because if you follow the game studio over on Twitter or something, they'll update you a lot quicker than these clowns will. For real. But anyway, check this out. Let's go down to my favorite part. Well, we can breeze through it real quick. Why did Cyberpunk 27 get a lower score from website A than website B? Like, we don't understand that. People do have different perspectives, sure. But they have to write a whole paragraph, a couple paragraphs on there. Personal opinion shouldn't impact a review score. No. This is your main takeaway after reading a review. You disagree with the reality is that you don't actually want to read a review. Listen to this thing. Okay? So this is the politics portion. This is the one that I really wanted to hit right here. So if this is your main takeaway after reading a review you disagree with, then the reality is that you don't actually want to read a review. You want to read the back of a game box. If you believe that a review should solely consist of regurgitation of a game's features, that's marketing. What you actually want is to be marketed to. You want to watch a trailer that will uncritically show you a game that you're already going to play. You want to sit and clap and not be asked to think. This belief routinely pops up when a game includes politics. In gaming, politics can be anything from female protagonists to LGBT stuff. Representation. Politics usually means anything other than actual politics. There was more concern over Black Ops Cold War allowing players to be non-binary character than Ronald Reagan popping up to deliver pro-war propaganda. So the games journalists were making a big deal about Ronald Reagan being in that game, by the way. There was all kinds of articles that popped up. In fact, there were articles popping up putting the game down because they considered it anti-communist propaganda. This might change people's ideas about communism. For real. That's a real thing that was popping up. And that should also tell you something about games journalism. As games will continue to address real-world issues, reviews will inevitably discuss whether or not they are successful in doing so. The sole function of a review isn't just to tell you whether to buy a game or not, but to offer the reviewer's perspective on a game in a piece of writing designed to inform, enlighten, and entertain you. Well, no one's being entertained by them, that's for sure. Nobody's being entertained by your guys' work. By removing the opinion part of the process, you achieve nothing of the above. So I have to disagree. The point of the review is to tell you whether you should buy a game or not. That should be the sole function of a review, hands down. Whether or not you should buy the game or not. I don't want to know about your politics. I don't give a damn about your politics. You're just some clown that lives in San Francisco or somewhere else in California. I don't care what your politics are. What I want to know is if the game is good or not. Is the game fun? You can write an entire review around the mechanics of the game. Believe me. There's no need to go into politics, but that's what they do now. That's the big thing. And they want to defend it. But this whole article is just nothing but talking down to the reader. And then they literally tell you down here that you should go get a new hobby. So where do I take my misplaced anger about video game reviews? Literally anywhere else. If you're the sort of person who gets angry about reviews of games you haven't played yet, just consider doing anything else with your time. Take up crochet, get into Bitcoin, start a book club. We just implore you to consider the bafflingly monumental waste of time that is being mad online about critics' opinion. Oh, why don't you guys stop being so inflammatory to video game players then? Why don't you guys stop demeaning gamers? Why don't you guys stop telling half of America that votes different than you that they're trash? Why don't you guys just focus on video games and tell us if games are good or not? Why is that so hard to do? Why is it so hard to just do a game review and not get political? I'll never understand it. Why don't you just talk about gaming? There's so many people that would love to have these jobs that could do them so much better. But the problem is they just get all their buddies in. Okay? So once you're in, you can get your buddies in. You got to have approval. They're only going to bring like-minded people into the industry. And that's a problem right there. That's why we need more independent sites to pop up. This is why I like sites like, Bounding into Comics and Cosmic Book News and stuff like that. These people are going against the grain of, IGN and all these other trash outlets. Geeks and Gamers has a website now. I like that. These sites need support. Go to these websites and read their stuff because, we need to get away from IGN, Polygon, all these other outlets that just are dinosaurs. Anyway, that's pretty much it. If you're playing this game, let me know what you think about it. Give me your opinions. What do you guys think about everything going on in the state of games journalism? What do you think about Cyberpunk? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you would please like, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.